besties. How we doing? We're back with another Read It or Yeet It, and this one is kind of special because for once, we are kind of ahead of the curve in reviewing something. I pre-ordered this manga in like July, and I'm technically ahead of the curve because the physical copy of the manga was just released like 3 days ago. The story itself has been out since like July 2020, but that's beside the point because we're technically with the schedule here because the physical manga was just released and I bought it when it was released and I got it right on the day it was fucking released. So we are back with another Read It or Yeet It. If you're new to my channel, with the Read It or Yeet It series, I basically read the first volume of a manga, tell you all about it, and tell you whether I'm gonna read it or eat that shit in the trash. So we start out with this giant-ass kaiju just attacking Japan because, you know, that's just normal kaiju behavior. Normal day in Japan, apparently. It obviously seems like utter chaos is about to break out, but of course the defense team is there in like seconds to kill this thing. We cut to our man's Kafka, who is the main character of the series. He has big main character energy, and he is a part of the cleanup team for kaiju. So basically, when a kaiju is neutralized, him and his team go out there and rip it apart and move it so that everyone can get back to living their lives and so that kaiju guts are not all over the place. On the second day of the cleanup job, Kaiju is introduced to Reno, who is like a new recruit. He wants to be a part of the defense team who actually like kills the kaiju, and he's starting on the cleanup team. Low-key though, Reno looks like Todoroki. Like, tell me that man doesn't look like Todoroki. He just needs some hot water thrown on his face, and there you go. Now, Kafka and Reno are both just doing their job, cleaning up this kaiju, and they're like having a heart-to-heart before the end of the day because Kafka was originally trying to join the defense team, but he failed way too many times for his own liking and was like, nah, fuck this shit, I'm done, period, like, you're done. So Reno's like, yes, King, you can do it, like, don't just sit around and give up. Join again. What's wrong with you? So while they're having their little heart-to-heart, a kaiju just comes out of fucking nowhere and tries to turn Reno into Eren Yeager's mother, part 2. So before he gets chopped in half, Kafka jumps in the way and he's like, oh no, bestie, you're not getting eaten today. And he tells Reno to go, like, send an alert to the defense team so that they can come take care of the kaiju. So the defense team comes, does their thing, and after only a mildly traumatic experience with kaiju, Reno and Kafka are taken to the hospital because Kafka actually got a little fucked up by the kaiju, not gonna lie. So Reno and Kafka are just chilling in the hospital, you know, being homies, and this kaiju just flies in the window, and it's not like a big one, it's a smaller one. But he just inserts himself into Kafka's throat cavity. So Reno checks on Kafka because it literally sounds like he's dying, and turns out Kafka's just a kaiju now. And he's kind of sexy. So even though he's hot, well, even hotter now as a kaiju, it's still a little shocking that Kafka's just a kaiju chilling in a hospital. And it's also kind of hard to hide that there's a kaiju in the hospital. So another resident sees a kaiju and sends out an alert to the defense team. And Kafka and Reno are like, oh shit, you're about to die if we don't get out of here ASAP. So they take off and like are running through the city, and a bunch of weird shit starts happening to Kafka. Like, his kaiju powers just start going haywire. He like eats a bird, and he has tentacles at some point. And we also figure out the most important thing that we figure out about his kaiju form is that he pees out of his nips. Hashtag just kaiju things. Kafka also figures out while they're running and a bunch of weird shit is happening to him that he can sense other kaiju in the area. And lo and behold, there's another one exactly like the one that almost killed Reno earlier. So a little girl and her mom are about to get eaten and be Eren Yeager's mom part 3, but our sexy man comes and beats that bitch up. Kafka has some like insane powers and literally obliterates the kaiju. Like, he literally punches him once and he's left a pile on the floor. Kafka has a moment of reflection when this little girl thanks him and he's like, yes, I'm ready to be kaiju and like be on the level of my friend who is like the top defense leader, because he has a friend who he was friends with in childhood, and they were going to be on the defense team together, but Kafka never got through the test. So he's like thinking about her and being like, hell yeah, now I can be on her level. He wanted to take the test again anyway, so now he's like, yes, I can do it. So he's already ready to adapt to his life as a powerful and useful kaiju. So we cut to 3 months later after Kafka has been turned into a kaiju, and the defense team is still on the lookout for him. And he's the first kaiju that has been unneutralized since the defense team started. So this is the worst fucking game of hide and seek ever. The only reason he's unneutralized is because he figures out how to hide his power. So like he can turn back into his human form, but also turn back into his kaiju form, so he can like balance it out a little bit. So since he can still take his human form, he's like doing his job as normal, and he takes the defense team test again, and he actually passes because Daddy's a smart king. So him and Reno both pass the test, and they're like on the way to the second stage of testing, which is where shit gets kind of serious because there's a bunch of officers there, and if he turns into a kaiju, he's probably going to be murdered on sight. So Rena and Kafka go to the testing center, and they're like all ready to take the second part of the test, and they meet Kikoru, and the first thing that she does is literally pick up Kafka's car and move it because he's parked in the spot that she wants. What a girl boss. Miss Girl Boss, Kafka, and Reno are still in the parking lot, and Papa Kafka flexes his strength and literally puts his car back in the spot where it should have been, and Miss Girl Boss is like, you reek of kaiju, why? So after that, they all go in, and like the second part of the exam starts, and there's a physical part, like a physical test of the exam, and then an aptitude test. In the physical exam, Daddy ranks 219th out of 225, but like, no judgment because I would have been 225th. Not gonna lie. And he's also going a bunch of people who are much younger than him because everyone there is like a college student because they all graduated from the College of Neutralization. But it turns out Miss Girl Boss is the top student there because she is the youngest person to ever graduate from the Neutralization University and the youngest to ever be valedictorian. So Miss Girl Boss is really girl bossing out here. So after they get through the physical part of the exam, the aptitude test starts, and the task is literally to neutralize kaiju. So the next part of the exam is about to start, and everybody gets their suits and everything, and they're actually using the same equipment that the defense team does, which is like the suits take power from you, so that you get like a different percentage of power, and depending on how much it can actually pull from you. Somehow Daddy's suit is 0% power. He better be glad that he's hot because, sir, you're on thin fucking ice. Meanwhile, Miss Girlboss over here has 56% power, which is more than most trained generals because most trained generals can only get like 20%. So she's out here like over twice that percentage. So the test starts, and since Kafka's suit pulls no power, him and Reno kind of just do backup, and it's actually kind of working because he knows a lot about the kaiju bodies since he like cleans them up all day. So he's like telling people where to shoot and like what to look out for and what to do, and he's like stunning them because he knows so much about them, and he's like kind of killing it, like really helping the team out here. While Kafka's being a bad bitch and helping everyone and telling everybody what to do, a kaiju snatches his ass up. So since Kafka isn't using his abilities, he's hella injured because he just got his wig snatched by a kaiju. The exam proctors are about to put up his protective shields, which immediately like makes you fail the exam because you like couldn't hold your own in a battle against a kaiju. Miss Girlboss is actually kind of nice here because she obliterates the kaiju because she's like, nobody fails or dies on my watch. Which, I mean, that's kind of nice. I can't argue with that. So Miss Girlboss is doing her thing, and she girlbosses and gaslights her way through the rest of the exam and single-handedly kills all of the kaiju. So because Miss Girlboss is killing it, the exam is over, and we figure out that Miss Girlboss is actually the daughter of the director for the defense team. So she's literally like killing kaiju in her sleep. So she's having her main character moment and like reveling in her victory when all of a sudden this random ass kaiju that we had not seen before comes out of fucking nowhere and wrecks her shit. So somehow the kaiju that Miss Girlboss neutralized are regenerating at an alarming rate. And you know that random kaiju that came out of nowhere in the last chapter? Yeah, that motherfucker can talk. He basically treats the kaiju like pets as they're like regenerating. So the exam proctors at this point are like, oh shit, something's going on, because they have vitals for every student who's taking the exam, and Miss Girlbosses are responding irregularly, and they also have vitals on the kaiju as well, and they see like, holy shit, they're coming back to life. So the exam proctors like deploy themselves into the training area because they kind of have to, or else they have like a lot of people murdered on their hands, like 225. That just seems like a bad idea. Miss Girlboss is alone, and the kaiju is just going ham on this poor girl. While this is going on, she's like having her moment of like thinking about her life, because she's just like really going for this kaiju. Like she's injured incredibly, and she's like not stopping. She's like, I have to kill this motherfucker. And we learn that her dad is high-key, low-key, high-key toxic. He's all like, you have to be perfect for the sake of the nation, and also for your dead mom, and you also have to do everything right, and we're not going to talk about your accomplishments because you just need to keep moving on and do better and keep moving forward no matter what. Okay, thanks, bestie. So, just as Miss Girlboss is about to die from this kaiju, none other than Papa Kafka comes to save the day. And he's pulling all the stops, because almost immediately after he talks to Miss Girlboss for a minute, he turns into his kaiju form. And then it ends. Holy shit, that was so good. Since I didn't really know anything about the series, I had like zero expectations for it, but if I were to have expectations for it, they would be like blown out of the water. Like they wouldn't be here anymore. The plot itself is one that I've seen a lot, like with the main character turning into like a monster that everyone hates. But like I really like that plot, TBH. I like that story in general. I also like that this wasn't as serious as the other ones. Like I enjoy more serious stories too, but I really enjoyed like all the humor and like the lightheartedness that was in this as well. There's like a healthy dose of fuck shit that I really appreciate. The plot in general really gave me like Black Torch and Bleach vibes, but like I really liked both of those, so I guess it's not a shock that I really like this one. I just like the main character to monster pipeline. I might just like monsters in general. Now the question that everyone has been waiting for, will I read it or will I yeet it? And I think the answer is kind of obvious that we're going to read it. We're not just going to read it, we're going to read the shit out of this series. Like I said, I really like the story, I really like the characters, and I really am interested to see where things go now that Kafka has shown his kaiju form to the people that actually want to murder him. I will neither confirm nor deny whether I have pre-ordered the next volume, but it does come out April 5th. Just saying. So there you have it, folks. Another Read It or Yeet It in the books, and we are reading it. Honestly, if you want, I would totally recommend checking the story out. I'm pretty sure you can get like the first 3 chapters of it for free online. I think it's on the Shonen website, so like maybe go check it out. Thank you guys for sticking around for another Read It or Yeet It. I really love making these. I like making videos in general. Like I just have fun. I have a lot of fun with it, but Read It or Yeet It especially. Because I just love talking and I love sharing my opinion with people, but like who doesn't? So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did like it, maybe fuck around and throw a subscription my way, or you know, throw a little like down there, or hang out with me on places like my Twitch channel or my podcast or Twitter, because I like to shout my opinion into the void for everyone to see. We like to have a lot of fun elsewhere on this platform. I mean, I think it's obvious that I like to have fun because everything that I say is just a bunch of fuck shit. But we like to have fun on every other platform that I'm on. So consider hanging out with me there too, if you like my vibe and like my channel. Everything, as always, will be linked down below in the description of this video. And yeah, come hang out sometime. I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more content for the rest of 2021 and for 2022, because I have some like fun shit planned for 2022. I'm excited. There's gonna be a lot of anime reviews and a lot of manga reviews and a lot of fuck shit in 2022. So like, consider sticking around. All right, besties, I hope you are having a wonderful day, evening, night, week, month, year, whatever. Whatever you need to have a good one of, I hope you're having a good one of those. Remember to drink water, be kind to yourself, and be kind to others. I cannot wait to see you guys on the next one, and I hope you consider hanging out with me elsewhere, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out, besties.